Hello, hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. How are you today?
Oh, hello everybody.
Hello.
Hello, Irena.
Hello, Ron. Hello, everyone. I don't know who is Alexa, and we are waiting for Rob and Ilya. Two more people should join us. How are you spending your weekend?
Well, I'm in Germany, so it is very gray, wet, windy, and rainy.
Beautiful spring weather.
It's typical for this time of the year in Germany. So that's sort of expected, but of course it will get better.
Hopefully.
Irena, when was the last time I saw you? Was it in Moscow?
Yeah, that was like a year ago or 2 years ago when we had the conference.
It was in December of 2019.
Yes, and then everything stopped and no more travels, no nothing.
That was the last time that I was in Russia.
Yes, likewise. We have two people here from Moscow, Elena and Konstantin.
Rob has signed in twice.
Really? Hang on.
Hello, Rob.
And Consuelo, where are you from? Where are you coming from?
Actually, I'm right here in Moldova right now, but
you're in Moldova.
Yes, I am. But I'm from North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yes.
I am from Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
So Texas has been a lot of time mentioned during our lessons.
Actually, I grew up in Texas, but at an early age moved to New York and went to school there, and then San Francisco. That led to London, just all over the world, and wound up in Germany. I've been living in Europe now for most of my adult life. Actually.
Okay.
I've lived in Europe for 32 years now.
Wow.
Since he was 2 years old. You owe me now, Ron.
I tell everybody, if anything, invest in good face cream.
Or filters for your camera.
That's true.
Oh, yes.
How long have you lived in Moldova, Consuelo?
I've only been here in Moldova since August. So yes, it's just not that long. I haven't been here that long, but I've been here since August.
Are you there teaching?
Yes. I teach at Heritage International School.
Okay. And did you work in another country before, or?
No, actually, this is my very first international experience, if you want to say living. Visiting is different than actually living and, kind of assimilating into the culture, into the area.
Well, people ask me, Consuelo, what do you really miss about the States? And and I always tell them barbecue. I can't lie, it is barbecue.
Home Depot.
Being from Texas and the South, yes, it's barbecue. They're from the North, I think they're less likely to say barbecue.
Oh, they're probably going to say bagels.
But you know what? I must admit, because originally I'm from New Jersey and I do miss the bagels.
Oh, God, yes.
I keep looking for the bagels, and the bagels that I see, I'm like, no, not that. I need bagels.
Well, that's a good thing about living in Germany. They have great bagels. So, and they, but to get a good bagel, I have to travel about 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
They opened up a Dunkin' Donuts at
Oh,
the train
man.
station by me. And so, of course, I'll go over there and treat myself to one Dunkin' Donut.
Doesn't. Yeah, right.
And I know I'm not supposed to be having these donuts, okay? But I can't help from having the one chocolate covered with pudding inside. Yeah,
Oh,
gotta
my
have it.
goodness. Be
But
glad
I
there's
think,
not a Krispy Kreme around
oh,
here.
I know. I'm really,
Oh.
truly a Krispy Kreme person.
You can't have just one Krispy Kreme.
No, they just absolutely. I do miss Krispy Kreme, and I think they actually do have a store, one in Germany. But the most surprising thing happened when I was in Moscow. When I've been to Russia many, many times, and I was with some colleagues walking down the street by Red Square, and we went down a side street. I forgot the name of that side street, and all of a sudden, this huge Krispy Kreme store is there, and I was with a group of friends, and I was like, excuse me, people, but we don't have Krispy Kreme in Germany, so I got to go in that shop. And they said, yeah, but whatever. I was like, no. They said, what about lunch? I go, this is my lunch. This is my lunch, okay? And so what I did was to entice them to get into Krispy Kreme is I'll treat everybody to a donut and some coffee. So I just ordered, there were 6 of us together. So I ordered a box of 12 donuts and everybody got a coffee and we sat there and we ate all those donuts.
I have a question for you though. Was the hot sign on?
The hot sign?
Yes, was the hot sign on? That's when you know to go get those Krispy Kreme donuts.
Oh, when they're right out of the oven.
Yes.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, I don't know. There is, my mom used to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to drive over to what was at that time Chipley Donuts, and Krispy Kreme bought them out. And she would get there at 5 in the morning to buy a box of donuts for us on Saturdays, so that we could have donuts in the morning. But that was her way of tricking us to clean the house.
So that's some cultural thing, I guess, because I don't know what is Krispy Kreme store and what you're talking about. That's a mystery for me. I know donuts, I saw it in the movies. I know what's that. I tasted it, but what you are talking about, that's a mystery.
Very, very tasty.
Not that good.
Yeah, but I think everybody who's Russian knows pancakes. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Which,
that's
of
the
course,
pancake week.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody knows pancakes. But Americans don't call what Russians
They
call
look
pancakes, actually we call crepes.
Mhm.
Yes.
They're more
yes.
crepes. Have you had them, Consuelo, already?
I have, because that was one of the things that I had to get used to when they said pancakes, I was like, yes, pancakes. And then when I saw it, I was like, this is not a pancake.
I know.
This is
I was like,
and I was like, no, I wanted pancakes. So it was just a little different, something to get used to, but I love them still, they're still great. And the way they made the little cherry ones out of the, she said pancakes, but those were like crepes. I can't remember what you call it, but it's a delicious dessert with the cherries inside wrapped up in the
with whipped cream.
Kushma on top. It's what?
We call it kushma guguzi. And in Russian, I guess that's brevno, how do you call it? I don't know. Pancakes with cherries inside and so
cream on top of it. That was really good.
I don't know.
And Constantine, what city are you coming from? Where are you right now?
Now I'm near at Moscow, near on Moscow. I'm in Moscow, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what little city is that you're in?
What? Sorry, what little?
Are you inside of Moscow or?
Yes, I am. Approximately 10 kilometers from Moscow, near, really near from Moscow.
No, Moscow is such a big city.
Yes, huge city.
Yelena, can you introduce yourself? Where are you from?
I'm from Moscow too, and I was born in Moscow and living now in Moscow. And I have a friend from Munich, and he was born in Moscow, but after university, he decided to go abroad, and he decided to live in Munich, and he is living in Munich for 20 years. And when he came back to Moscow, he was very surprised. Oh, how a lot of restaurant, coffee, and when I said to him, let's go to IKEA shop in the middle of the night, he was very surprised. Really, the shop center is open in the night. In the Munich, a lot of shop center closed at 8 o'clock and don't work in the night. So he was very surprised in different life in Moscow.
Yeah, does the IKEA in Moscow, I remember driving by it quite a few times. Is that the only one in Moscow, or is there more than one?
Now it is one shop of IKEA in the center of Moscow, and I think 4 or 5 IKEA center, not far from Moscow, but not in the center of the Moscow. But I think it is trend to arrange IKEA shop center in the center because it's more useful for people. That in the center of the Moscow, it's not so large, but it is.
Do they have a restaurant?
Yes, of course.
So you are on food today. You want to explore a different food, Ron, today.
Well, no, I just wanted to know if she's had the chance to eat. There's 2 things that, the IKEA restaurants have, actually 3, they have the Swedish meatballs, with French fries and the cranberry sauce. And then they have the hot dogs. And then they also have the, the hot dogs, the cranberry sauce, and their very, very delicious kettle chips.
Kettle chips?
What is kettle chips?
Kettle chips. They're like potato chips. They are potato chips.
Potato chips.
Yeah, but they're Swedish style. They're much better than the other ones.
So, recommendation. We'll try that. Rob, can you introduce yourself?
Well, Ron's here, so I'm not going to be able to talk today anyway. Right, Ron?
We'll go in breakout rooms, don't worry. So everyone will have a turn to speak.
I'm Rob, currently in Gdansk, Poland. And I'm originally from Boston, but lived all over the US, lived in Brazil, and now I'm here. And someday we'll be in Moldova.
Yeah, so he visited us just virtually.
Yes.
Right. So today we gathered to speak about climate change and some initiatives that the big companies in Russia do to prevent climate change or to raise climate awareness. We were doing some projects with the students in Moldova, and I heard about Yelena's company, that she works in a big international company, and they also are very eco-friendly and practice these things. Konstantin, my student, he also works in a big Russian company, and I was just curious, what do you do? Like, that's a software company. When I was in Poland for a conference, IT for Women, they had a lot of sessions and workshops dedicated to how developers can contribute to climate change, how they can do some green energy stuff. So that was just a curiosity for me, what you do in your company and how do you promote that. And I know Yelena has prepared something to share. I would give the floor to her. She will present and we can ask some questions.
Thank you. I'm working in Allianz Group. It is German insurance company. And I can say that for Allianz Group, protecting the environment is part of our core business. And our climate change strategy is based on the 3 pillars. We anticipate the risk of the climate change, work to protect and care for our customer, and enable the transition to a lower carbon economy. For example, Allianz has stopped investing in coal-based business models since 2015. And we also don't insure single coal power plants and mine anymore. And Allianz was the first to introduce low carbon technology insurance, and we also invest in low carbon assets like renewables and low carbon technology. And we are committed to reducing emissions from our business operations, like business trips, for example. In Allianz Russia, we promote environmental care behavior among our employees. And for example, we organize Green Week for our employees, and we invite external speakers in order to explain to our people how they can be more ecology friendly, not only in office but also in their home. And also very soon we will install solar panels on the roof of our Central Moscow office, and it will reduce our electricity consumption by 10%.
That's impressive. Any questions to Elena?
Well, Elena, you're talking about a German company, and I was on the internet site just now looking at what they have in German. What would you say is, all companies, big like Allianz, have sort of a corporate image they want to, portray to the, not only to the customers, but to the communities that they work around or in. So have you been to Germany, to the national headquarters in Germany? I mean, the international headquarters?
Yes, I have been in our Munich office 2 years ago, and I'm planning to go to our office again, but lockdown was happened, and all of our meetings go to the WebEx. Maybe it's not so attractive, and maybe it's sometimes not so useful, but due to we can reduce our business trip, and also we can reduce carbon oxygen effects to environment.
The real question I wanted to ask you was, Germans and Europeans, in the sense of being in the European community, they have laws that they have to follow when it comes to the environment. And you're in Russia, so does the German corporate image fit the Russian idea of the environment and environmental protection and green political policies. You know, is it different in Russia than it is in maybe Germany or the United States?
I think that it is very influent to Russia insurance business in Moscow because, for example, as I mentioned before, Allianz stopped to insurance some company, some carbon company, and in Moscow, Allianz have to stop to insurance the same company too. It's not due to Russian law, it's due to Allianz Germany strategy. So of course, Allianz influence in our Russian behavior, and also Allianz Germany Allianz make a lot of initiative and try to promote in not only Russian OE, but also in different OE, and Green Week, not only in Moscow office, Green Week also arrange in different office from Allianz Group.
I have also prepared some questions, but I want everyone to participate. So we have 8 questions in the chat box. I will divide you in breakout rooms, and I want you to interview your partner and remember, or maybe take some notes of their answers. And we will spend like 5-6 minutes. So take turns and chat. Where are my breakout rooms? Okay, let me find them. And Konstantin, do you have to share some initiatives your company does?
Yes, I can. I can.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk. I can talk something now. Okay. No. This is. I'm very surprised that that we talk about IT conference and IT culture in Russia, because as I was at some IT conference and I know their strategy or main point of strategy of most IT countries in Russia, because this is a part of my professional interest. There is there isn't any Russian IT company that care about environment. I believe no. Nothing, zero, absolutely zero. 1S is one of the largest Russian IT company, and I believe only the international company like Microsoft, Oracle, and SAP. They, of course, they care about environment. They have in strategy some points, some ideas about for example, like Elena said about Allianz. If we talk about Russian company, no one IT company Russians care about environment. No one care about risk of climate change. No one think about protect customers, for protect employees. No one care about green energy, and no one care about if we need aware about climate change, about risk of climate change. No, there isn't nothing in 1S. There is nothing in for example, in two large. I worked in 2 large Russian IT integrators. This is a service providers. In English, service providers of IT services. Providers of IT services, nothing dealing with climate. And I can talk more. I can give you an example from my experience, because I work as a research in with large Russian oil company, number 3 on top 5 Russian oil company, and of course, this is absolutely strange because they are, of course, they said they're environment friendly, they care about environment. But for example, if you fly into Surgut, for example, you see the burning candle of oil. You fly it and you see one burning candle, second burning candle, and I count.
Just waste of resources.
At the middle of the autumn of 1918, I flight it and I count approximately more than 10 burning candle. They burn each day, each minute, each day. They burn monthly. How they care about environment, I don't understand. This is absolutely terrible because why this happens? They don't. They cannot. This is a more cheaper way to protect. More cheaper way to do their business. They don't care about environment. They only do their business. The Siberia is large. There is a lot of land. It is no. We don't. They really don't care about climate. And for example, when I was on oil, when drilling station, near the drilling station, I see the spill of oil. No, I believe this is this approximately 2 football two football approximately this, and
nice.
and nothing, and nobody care about this. Nobody. This is absolutely normal.
Nice. But you know, like it all starts with us. So if we can do something step by step, then maybe we will attract the attention of the governments. And like today we read with Yelena about going on strikes or protests, that even if we cannot influence somehow, we can attract attention, and maybe that will be the first step to solve it. So let's go now in breakout rooms and interview your partners. You need to join the room.
Where can join the room?
So you have breakout rooms, sign below. If you click there will be the room 1. Breakout rooms. После reactions, там где чат внизу.
Yes, I see, but
yes. Click on it and should come on a new window. And says join the room.
Just so you know, when you come back, you're all automatically muted.
Okay, so I guess everyone is back. And now we will exchange. So we will switch the groups and you will have to share with another group what you were discussing with your initial group, what your partners said, and find out what another group was discussing. So I'm opening the breakout rooms again. You have new partners and you are presenting the findings from the initial discussion.
Here we are again.
Okay.
Good.
Joined everyone. Thank you for your productive, fruitful discussion. And I want us to summarize, to wrap up, to round up the discussion through image. Because like, you know, picture speaks 1,000 words. So I found a website recently where I participated in a global awareness about this climate change and all this thing. So they shared this website, climatevisuals.org. I want you to follow that. And again, you will be in groups. So together with your group, you will have to negotiate which picture represents or resonates with something that you discovered today, something that you discussed in your group today. Choose that picture and explain your choice, but it should be a group decision. Can we do that?
We click only images, yeah.
Okay, so now I open the breakout rooms again. And what do you have to do? How many pictures should you select?
One photo.
What kind of photo?
Something that resonates with our discussion today.
Perfect. But
We had
another
fun.
group is busy talking, choosing. So you are kind of pessimistic about the future, right?
Well,
Nothing.
I wouldn't say pessimistic. I would say realistic.
Realistic, I believe this. So
She said nothing will change.
no,
Well, not in our lifetime.
We hope that maybe maybe it will change, but now we don't see any reasons, any forces that change the situation. For example, in Russia, I don't see forces. Okay, this is important to change, and I hope that maybe it will change, but I don't see real actors. What forces change it? No.
Mhm.
This is of course no. Maybe this is a kind of pessimistic.
Okay, so let's share. If the second group has a picture to present, we would like to see it and listen to your explanation. Ron, Consuelo, and Elena.
Elena wasn't able to get onto the screen, but I think we were torn between several pictures. But I think the picture that caught my eye in the beginning was the conversation with Constantine, where Constantine, let me just get out of this site here. There's a picture of a lake with some mountains in the background, and there's a moose in the lake. And Constantine told me about, Russia has so much oil. There's just lakes of oil in Siberia. And that was the first thing that came to my mind. It's like, that's probably a lake of oil, in Siberia. So, that image came to my mind. But I think we agreed that what Elena was talking about is that education needs to start at a very young age, about green policies, green politics. And so we chose the young girl in a classroom with her hand raised, with the idea that maybe she's in a classroom learning about,
Can you
ecology.
Share it?
Sure, I can share that. Let me just, did you make me host?
No, but I guess you can share it.
Yeah, I can. Oh yeah, I can. Okay. You can see that there. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it's just, learning about the ecology, maybe green politics, and I guess it says it's in Azerbaijan, which also has a lot of oil too. So yeah.
Okay, so that was your group decision, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And what about group number one? What have you decided? Now it's your time.
Constantine, you tell.
No, we don't find any appropriate pictures, and I can share it because we see that all environment problems cost in Russia and Brazil also caused by money. All environment is about money, and we don't see an appropriate picture. And this is our point of view.
There was no money there. No picture of money.
No.
Like so, maybe like a green bag of money can represent your idea.
A lake of oil, and under lake of oil, a lot of money.
Yeah, there should be a lot of Russian rubles floating in that lake of oil.
Well, we equated it, Ron, maybe you'll join our group, because we equated it to our old age, that where, we've seen this all throughout our life, that everybody says, yes, we care, but it all comes down to money. And,
Consuelo and I said that,
Yeah.
I'm from Texas, so that's oil country, and
Consuelo
comes from North Carolina, where that's coal country. So even us as Americans, we see it different because of where we come from.
Yeah.
And that's really important. And if you talk about, jobs, And the oil industry in Texas creates a tremendous amount of jobs.
Sure.
And it's a very difficult topic to talk about with a Texan because they get really hot, really hot.
But it's on the East Coast. It's not a. It's kind of a sore subject to talk about because it's like the oil this, or it's like because of oil that this is happening and that's happening. So you kind of have like a different view, and you don't view it the same way as someone who's actually the producer of oil or who's living or whose lives are dependent upon oil production.
Well, Consuelo, would you agree that a lot of people on the East Coast don't like Texas?
They think they can do barbecue better.
Yep.
That's another battle we'll talk about.
Right. We started with the barbecue. We'll finish with the barbecue. So, Elena and Konstantin, what's your biggest takeaway from this discussion?
And I hope it's not that Americans are crazy.
No. No, from my point of view, for example, this surprised for me that Rob agree with me. Rob, no situation in Brazil, and no situation in the United States, and we agreed because we have same point of view, but we really different. We have a real our culture, of course, different, of course, but. We have the same view on environment problems, and this is surprising for me. And with Ron, of course, we talk about price on energy also.
Okay.
Money. Yes, we talk about money, and we see that this is a main force.
Elena?
I can say that it looks like our discussion in the kitchen between member of family when we can say good things and why we are not a political man. All of member of our meeting today say good things, say very logical things, and why in the government people don't think like we think today.
Yes, of course.
They think, but they then like, where is money? Let's follow the money.
Let's follow the money.
Yes, but also I was very surprised about you, Irina, when you said about a law that in your shopping center you couldn't use plastic, and it is in a government law. It's very good, and I was very surprised why our political man couldn't do the same. I couldn't understand.
Well, then you're
well,
all
we
welcome
can have another discussion, and I'll help you understand it, because I'm going to tell you, German politics about energy, especially because we in Germany are extremely dependent on Russian oil. And we learned our lesson when the Russians turned off our heating. And we had a very cold winter in 2010 because the Russians turned off our heating. So we're scared. We get very scared. And here in Germany, we don't have the same rules as they do in America with Russia. So even though I'm an American, I'm very German when it comes to oil. And I'm scared. And then it's gold in Germany, okay? And we need Russian oil. So we have to be very careful when it comes to politics here in Germany. And with Russia, it's a different story. It took me a while to learn how to understand it. But once you have a cold winter with no heating, you know.
You start to appreciate.
Yeah. You know, the other thing too is you gotta look at what's the effect. And Lenny, you were saying how they pass laws that you don't use plastic bags. That's great, but that's superficial, because what did it cost them? Nothing. Nothing. But when they say, okay, no more digging up coal in, the Carolinas, that puts the people that elect them out of business. If they said no more oil production, that puts what, probably 5% of the country out of business without jobs.
Well, Texas would leave the United States.
Haven't they already?
Yeah, well, I had another discussion about this Texas thing with people who also live in Texas and like support this green energy. And when this collapse happened in Texas with cuts of energy and cuts of water, they started like, I was told, like pushing the blame towards this green sector because it was frozen and it didn't function. So why we chose this? We should have kept to the old methods and use the oil, use the old system.
Yeah.
So something like that. So it was also a very controversial and debatable issue.
If you believe what you saw in the news, this was the stubbornness of Texas government to not connect into the U.S. power grid because they felt they could do it better. And when theirs failed, the backup wasn't there for them. Had nothing to do with,
the green.
The green. Nothing at all.
Yeah, so just because they were isolated from this system that they had.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Texas is an island.
Yes.
It's the biggest island actually in the United States.
Yep, it's true. And, they've tried to succeed twice now, isn't it? I think in history.
They do it every year, once a year.
Yeah, them in Key West, Florida,
They try.
Yeah. Texas will always be Texas.
Yeah.
I'm proud to be from Texas. My home is there. I mean, I have a home there. My family's there. But I'm not a Texan when it comes to politics. That I'm not.
Do you own a gun?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Not
so
in
that
Germany.
proves again that you're from Texas.
Excuse me. Texans learn how to shoot guns in high school.
High school? I was younger.
Yeah, and I was in the military reserves as a young boy. So I had to, in the 10th, 11th, and 12th class, wear a uniform to school. I never show that on social media. But, with guns, because I don't want people to think that I'm some crazy person. But, I grew up shooting guns.
In North Carolina.
Well, that makes me scared.
It wasn't noticed to being crazy in North Carolina because you have a lot of people who start hunting, and they start hunting at a very young age. So there are guns. Well, shot, a lot of guns because they hunt behind my house. So you see 9, 10-year-olds shooting game.
Consuelo, I'm a little bit stupid, but what do they hunt for in North Carolina?
They hunt deer. They hunt deer. They hunt
deer.
Yeah, there's a lot of hunting. It's a lot of hunting that goes on over there.
I don't know if you see the duck that keeps swimming by, but afterwards I'm getting my shotgun, and that's going to be dinner.
I have ducks in my pond, and there it's like, can we hunt on your property? Can we hunt over there? I'm like, go ahead, just don't shoot towards the house, just go.
But that's another great discussion when you have a bunch of Americans like this, because what you have to understand is, not being from America, you don't realize that most of us grow up, if we've grown up around guns, we were taught at a real early age how to respect a gun. And, it's not, you hear these stories of the 5-year-old that goes and grabs the gun and shoots his best friend by accident. That's because they weren't taught gun safety. And we grew up with it. I know Ron with the military, my father was shot at the gun club and took me out there as a little kid. So we have respect for it. Everybody
in my family's in the military, and we grew up with that. And
most of my family was in the military as well. And I entered into the military myself. And so I did learn. I knew about it beforehand, but because of my uncles and everybody, and they teach you, the do's and don'ts. And you didn't, one thing I'm appreciative, because we didn't have to hide it, because they showed us how to use it, what to use it, when to use it, and everything. And taught you about it, so it wasn't like, oh my gosh, a gun.
I'm more afraid of you people with your knives and your, your sharp words. You do more damage than any of us could do with a gun.
Russians can use very sharp words.
No, but Russia.
But still,
mean,
it's a cultural thing. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you need to grow in US to feel this, like gun safety things that you were talking about for the foreigners.
Because a lot of households have guns.
Yeah. My mother carried a gun. My mother just, I remember several times watching my mother shoot at someone. But she was doing that to protect us, her children, and herself. I got scared. I was very scared, but I wasn't scared about my mother shooting the gun. I was scared that she was going to kill someone, not her kids, but that man who she was shooting at. But she didn't shoot to kill him. She just shot to scare him to get away from us. And I think that the normal American doesn't shoot to kill people, but they do know how to use a gun. And my sister is very good. She's very good. I'm scared of my own sister when it comes to a gun.
When the pandemic started, the first thing I said was, damn, I wish I had a gun. It's the first thing I thought of, because you think of, if it gets really bad and people start breaking into houses.
Go outside, choose some targets.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I had a dream that I was inside, because what you're looking at in the back there is to my courtyard. That's I live on a private street. So, only the people who live here can come here. And I had a dream that Germans had broken into our neighborhood, and they were all zombies from the pandemic. They were all, and I was shooting them from this window, just shooting them like zombies, like, die, like a game, and I was like, just keep shooting them, because they were all COVID zombies. And I was getting extra points for the ones that I could shoot right between the eyes. And I was saying, watch me, boom, boom, boom.
Playing a lot of video games.
Yeah, with a video game and then COVID and all of it together with guns and that, of course.
You were stressed.
I was stressed, okay? I was stressed. I needed some catharsis, and that's what it was. Shooting Germans who were COVID zombies.
Okay. Thank you for a very interesting discussion. We really enjoyed it.
Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was nice meeting you.
Nice to meet everyone.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Nice
Don't turn into
everybody.
zombies. Great weekend. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Nice to
Bye now.
meet you. Bye-bye.